Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I am back with some more Showdown Live. In yesterday's episode, we showed off this really cool team featuring Volcarona, so hopefully we'll get to play some more games with it today. And we're only a few days away from the rank ladder being available in-game, so super excited about that, but thank you as always for coming out and tuning into this series. Let's get started right away with the first game of today's episode. As always, if you guys enjoy, please share your support by leaving a like, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, this is a really interesting Trick Room Tailwind hybrid where you have obviously like two really fast Pokemon in Whimsicott and Cinderace, and then really slow Slough with the Dusclops and the Snorlax. So Cinderace is what scares me the most on paper here against my opponent's team, especially something like Cinderace Milotic, because like otherwise Hitmontop's a pretty good answer against the Cinderace. So I'm thinking the threat of Max Airstream is very bad obviously for Volcarona, and I think like Togekiss having neutral attacks here is pretty solid across the board. So one thing we could go with is like the Togekiss and the Rillaboom, because that pressures with Fake Out Airstream immediately. In the back, I think Hitmontop is still valuable because it's good against everything. I mean, it's especially good against the Snorlax, the Rillaboom, and the Cinderace. And for the last one, Tyranitar is like slightly tempting for super effective damage here. Volcarona is a pretty cool choice as well as Rotom, but I think because we don't get to use Volcarona very often, let's just try it out. So let's get into today's first game. Alright, let's see. So it's going to be Rillaboom Cinderace, which I think to me screams switch out into Hitmontop, Dynamax, and probably just Airstream. Although they probably Airstream with their Cinderace. And then like Rillaboom here, I mean, could switch out. Here you might go for a Fake Out into us. But we have to weather the storm of Cinderace, basically, right? Yeah, so I'm going to launch an Airstream into Cinderace, because that's just the biggest threat, and switch out into Hitmontop. Okay, Snorlax comes in, which I think I'm okay with. It's obviously great that we get a double Intimidate here. So there's a Dynamax from G-Max Cinderace. Ooh, it actually has Steel Spike. Okay. It does less than half, though, which is good, because it's not Life Orb, which is interesting. As we actually managed to get a crit there as well. Okay. So that's solid. We get an Intimidate off, and now we're definitely going to be faster. Yeah, the only question is, let's see, 184. So if it's max speed Cinderace, we don't even outspeed with Hitmontop even after another Airstream, which is a little unfortunate, because what I'm thinking here is like max guard close combat, for example. Let's see. I do want to Airstream again. I mean, we'll take another Steel Spike. He should be max speed, though. The alternative is to just guard in close combat here, but they could obviously Airstream into Hitmontop, so I think I'm just going to double up onto Cinderace right now. Snorlax protects, which is great. Okay, get an Airstream off, so it's under half now. Yeah, he's going to offer another Steel Spike, but we survived that. Okay, nice. I think close combat might still pick up the KO here. It survives with just a little bit of HP, but I think that's okay, because now I can safely KO it with a final Airstream. Although what I might want to do here is this might max guard, so if I expect, I don't think it's going to max guard here, especially if it's, like, is it really going to have Protect? Because what I could do is Airstream close combat into Snorlax here. This is +2 defense boost though, which is pretty scary, right? Yeah, so I think I'm just going to Airstream into the Cinderace and actually switch him on top out into Rillaboom. Cinderace actually swaps out into Milotic, okay. So this puts our Rillaboom in a really favorable position now. Nice. However, Snorlax obviously is quite scary, but it actually helps for Double Edge. So yeah, right now Rillaboom is in a fantastic spot, especially with just pressure onto the Milotic. The late game against this might be kind of tricky, but what we can do is as soon as we KO the Milotic, just cycle in for Intimidate. So here I'm actually going to opt for Protect, I think, and go for a Grassy Glide. It's relatively safe, I think, for my opponent to maybe switch this out into... question is if you have Protect. If you don't have Protect, what I can do is Air Slash and Grassy Glide here. I think I'm actually not for that. Most Milotics don't carry Protect, so the logic behind this is you might switch out into the Rillaboom. If you do, that takes a ton of damage. If you stay in, that gets KO'd. As soon as we get rid of the Milotic, Hitmontop has a really good matchup against everything that my opponent brought, and Rillaboom switches in, which is excellent. Okay, so we get Grassy Glide off. That doesn't do that much, but Air Slash manages the crit and just picks up the KO. Beautiful. This Double Edge KOs us in return, but that's fine. Yeah, especially because we got an Intimidate off against this. That's super valuable. So I'm going to bring in Volcarona now. Yeah, I think Grassy Glide should just KO the Cinderace, although what you could do here is stall out my last turn of terrain, so I might want to switch out and back in. What I have to be careful about is giving my Milotic a competitive boost. So here I think I'm actually just going to Quiver Dance and Grassy Glide. Because once I get the Quiver Dance off, I'll be able to outspeed the Cinderace in the back. Yeah, so I think that's pretty safe. If you just stay in here, you get knocked out. The Snorlax isn't really putting on that much pressure right now in terms of damage. Sure, it has Double Edge, but okay, he just stays in. Nice, we get the KO into Milotic, which is huge because now Hitmontop can just switch in, obviously, freely. As Double Edge actually continues to target Rillaboom, too. So, once again, this is just one of the reasons why Rillaboom is so good. Priority Grassy Glide is just such a strong attack in this format. So we set ourselves up for a late game with the Volcarona. I'm just going to Bug Buzz here into Cinderace and switch out into Hitmontop to get yet another Intimidate onto this thing. I don't want to risk missing a Heat Wave. Bug Buzz should pick up the KO after the special attack boost, and we should outspeed this thing now. Yeah, we're 219, so yep, pick up the KO, perfect. Double Edge comes out, ejects us out. Yeah, and then now we can just cycle in once again, basically. Perfect. Yeah, so my opponent forfeits there. What we could have done here is just fake out Quiver Dance again, switch out into Hitmontop, protect, fake out Quiver Dance again, and then just start Heat Waving. With so much fake out and Quiver Dance pressure, Volcarona was actually a pretty good endgame Pokemon. So the main thing about this matchup that I think is really important is, yeah, the main value in this matchup was basically playing around the Snorlax, and the Cinderace fortunately wasn't able to 2-hit KO the Togekiss, which was really important. So this is why I think offensive Togekiss can, so good, especially just because it wants the Airstream most of the time anyway, and it does so much damage. This next team's pretty interesting. It's like a Rain, Trick Room hybrid, kind of a combination of the teams we were trying out with Polykingdra and then Indeedee had as well. So unfortunately, I don't think Volcarona is very good here. This feels like Tyranitar, maybe Togekiss Tyranitar, for example. Rillaboom for terrain control, and probably Rotom. The only question is in what order I want to go with that, right? Because Rillaboom as a lead doesn't feel super good, especially because Indeedee should be running min speed. So the other question is, how fast is your Politoed? One thing could be it's just scary to lead Tyranitar in and then have Politoed be slower. So, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't think we've decided on the Pokemon, it's just in what order. Togekiss Rotom actually looks really compelling here, with Rillaboom and T-Tar in the back. Yeah. I think the idea behind Togekiss and Togekiss Rotom is that the only thing that really pressures Rotom is the Rillaboom, which we can obviously pressure with the Togekiss. And should my opponent lead like Indeedee Hat, for example, or Rain, we can just switch out into Rillaboom immediately. So, yeah. Also, as you can see, I customarily just ignore opponent and ignore spectators just because I don't know what people could say in chat. But this person was nice and said hello, so it wasn't specifically a response to them, just a general tendency. I think for most games in which team chat is enabled or you can speak to your opponent, I normally disable it just because I like to focus on my own gameplay. So yeah, if I play against you, hopefully no one takes personal offense to that. It's just a personal preference of mine. Yeah, so let's see how this goes. I think, yeah, I mean, Volcarona is like a sick Pokemon, but when you have two water types and a Magnezone with rain pressure, especially if that is Assault Vest, it doesn't look super good. If this had Giga Drain, I'd actually even think about bringing Volcarona solely because after a Quiver Dance, Giga Drain just does so much damage, and we have this Spadef boost as well, plus we're bringing Tyranitar for Sand. One route I actually could have gone with his Hitmontop Tyranitar just for Bullet Punch Rock Slide. It's gonna be Rillaboom and Hat, okay. Huh, Grassy Seed, interesting. I might actually Dynamax here then and just attack the Rillaboom. I think it's likely though that there's Indeedee in the back, right? So you want to maybe attack the Rotom, Trick Room. You could also fake out. The thing is, if I max Airstream, I'm committing to being slower in subsequent turns, right? But then you switch in Hat, I don't know, I could bring out the Rillaboom, and then I have Tyranitar still. Maybe this is okay then. I'm gonna opt to Airstream into Rillaboom, and switch out into my own Rillaboom. Oh, actually, I just realized, by doing that, I don't have terrain control. So I'm not sure I actually want to do that. Yeah, I'm actually just an Airstream Dark Pulse. I mean, he probably goes for... Oh, nope, he goes for Fake Out. Okay. So I could have switched in Rillaboom there. But we get the KO, which is nice. Trick Room should go up now. Let's see. Yeah. As it's... Room Service. And, ooh, there's Magnezone in the back. Okay, very cool. So that extra is actually super bad. I was expecting Hat to just switch in here. Then what do I want to do here? Like, you probably want to max into the Kiss, right? So I want to max guard and probably switch out into Rillaboom so then I can fake out the subsequent turn. Yeah, let's go for that. Not a great start to the game, I think, mainly because I led the Rotom here. Okay, he actually maxes Hat. G-Max Smite into Rillaboom. Doesn't do much, but now I have to play around Confusion, which is the tough thing. And that's obviously very scary. I am just going to go for a fake out onto the Magnezone. He's going to Smite us, obviously. We need to stall out Trick Room and then try to sweep with, like, Tyranitar Rotom in the endgame, basically. I don't want to change the terrain, because... by changing terrain, I do prevent confusions. But then I don't get Grassy Glide pressure, so I'm going to Airstream here and fake out into Magnezone. But we hit ourselves in Confusion. That's a really bad Confusion hit, unfortunately. Let's see... Okay. Get the attack off with Togekiss, at least. But my max ends now. 2 turns of Trick Room left. So here you obviously just want to, like, flash. I could follow me here, but that doesn't really accomplish very much, right? So, like, I think the safe play is probably to protect here and maybe switch into the Tyranitar. What's tricky is that I actually don't have very much offense for Magnezone because I didn't bring Volcarona here or Hitmontop, but I don't think I was really bringing either into this matchup. But I really like the Trick Room-based approach that my opponent went with here. I think that's smart. And the lead wasn't super good here. The Rotom wished to cover the rain stuff, but that didn't work out super well for me. Okay, he's going to Smite us. That does so much damage. Activates our policy, so if we manage to attack... Ooh, nice double up there. Really nice double up. Okay, that double actually probably wins my opponent the game. That's a really good double up. I mean, I can just Grassy Glide into the Hat, but I don't think that's KOing. I'm going to switch out into Rotom. Maybe switch out into Fake Out actually is okay here. Yeah, I mean, we're probably going to need some crits there. That was an excellent double up. It might have been better just to sacrifice something, bring in Tyranitar and protect Tyranitar, because then, like, Tyranitar Rotom has a pretty good endgame here. So I think I got a little flustered by the lead here from my opponent. So good lead by my opponent, and great double up that last turn. Okay, we get the Fake Out off. Does Flash Cannon into Rotom, so this actually gives us a window of opportunity, I think. Yeah. Because I do have Nasty Plot, right? It's just a question of what the last Pokemon is from my opponent's end. Because if you have Hat, you could switch in a Hat right now, but what I want to do is just Grassy Glide Nasty Plot. Because, like, Rotom actually does have a pretty good matchup against everything in the back. It might be, like, if I'm predicting Magnezone to switch in a Hat, I could double up into the... Magnezone to switch in the Inity, I could double up until a Hat, but I don't know about that. So let's see. Okay, doesn't switch out, but it survives! Oh my goodness, once again with like 1%. That's so unfortunate. I think we actually maybe had a pretty good shot at winning if it doesn't survive there, but yeah, especially with Polly as the last one, we could have just Dazzling Hydro. Oh, it survives with 1%. Clutch survival. I could have doubled up into that slot, I guess, but I don't really regret that play. I can hope. I don't have Protect, which is tough, right? I can hope for you. I mean, my opponent should actually double up into Rotom, especially if they know this team and they recognize it's me, so there's a decent chance they've seen this team. Just thinking how I can win. He's going to be sturdy anyway, so I don't really think we have an out. Oh, that's so unfortunate he gets it off there. Nice Helping Hand. Yeah, probably Helping Hand T-Bolt. Ooh, Electro Web. Huh. That is interesting if you are not, like, min speed, right? Is Electro Web your only option? I mean, it's probably min speed given that it's Trick Room, but, huh. Okay. I don't want to risk missing Hydro Pump, so I'm just going to Dark Pulse here. And, I could follow me, because, I mean, you probably click if you only have Electro Web, yeah, I think I follow me here, actually. Because if Electro Web's your only means of offense, no, it's just Rising Voltage. Okay, he still outspeeds us, unfortunately, so it is min speed. Yeah. That was such a big survival. Close game, really close game. Rising Voltage is going to finish us off, yeah. I mean, if the hat goes down there, Trick Room doesn't go up, Rotom nasty plots, and then we just win 2v1 because of redirection support. But I think my opponent outled me this game, so props to them, and then they made the really good play of the double up on the turn I protected with Togekiss. So the turn I protected with Togekiss, I actually think it would have been better to have gone for maybe like a Follow Me instead. So I get Tyranitar in safely. Nicely played by my opponent. I thought that was really well done on their end. Okay. What do I want to go with in this one? Her Marina's scary. Once again, Rotom looks good. It's just like the threat of the Rillaboom lead. Like, I want to go Togekiss Rotom again, honestly. And in the back, Volt could be decent. But I guess it's only really for Rillaboom and maybe the Gothitelle. I think my Rillaboom is probably essential. And then let's go Tyranitar. As you can see, like, Volk can be a really compelling Pokemon, but its typing just can be pretty tough in, you know, certain matchups. Togekiss Gothitelle, I mean, this is amazing for our Rotom, I would say. But I obviously have to respect the Rillaboom that's in the back. It's like, I want to Follow Me and just Nasty Plot turn 1. Because after a Nasty Plot, this one-shot's almost my opponent's entire team. Alright, switching to Tyranitar, which I think is okay. Probably Trick Room then, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm leaning towards just another Follow Me, Max, and then Geyser. Geyser might not KO, but then you KO Togekiss, I get Rillaboom in, and I can just Grassy Glide to KO. So let's go for that. This is the main threat, honestly. I guess there's the threat of Rillaboom in the back for my opponent as well, but that's why I don't want to KO Gothitelle, because if I trade Gothitelle for Togekiss and they get Rillaboom in for free, that's pretty awkward. Tyranitar protects, okay. Expanding Force, interesting. Well, that's fine. I mean, I changed the weather now, and it's like, yeah, I activate Policy, but what are you gonna do? Like, you can't really want to, you don't really want to max that, right? So you might want to switch out. I'm just gonna Follow Me and Max Geyser here. They might switch out into, like, Rillaboom, but then what are you really doing, right? Like, Helping Hand Rock Slide maybe, but if you Helping Hand Rock Slide, I KO you. So that's why I wanted to prioritize Rotom in this game. That was a good protect, though. I could have gone for the Max Darkness there until I got the tail then. They do commit the Dynamax on a Tyranitar. Okay. Yeah, that's fine by me. I think Geyser might KO here. Even if not, I get the Rillaboom in for free, and then I can just Grassy... yeah. Nice, we KO. Okay, great. So we have one turn of Max left with Rotom. I get Rillaboom in for free now. They can't fake out my Rotom, and they bring in their Rillaboom, so I could just fake out the Rillaboom immediately here. So let's go for fake out. We have Tyranitar as the last one, which is obviously pretty good. Yeah, I think we fake out just to avoid taking any damage. The question is what I want to do with Rotom here. I can't switch out, so I'm thinking of actually KOing the Gothitelle, because we have Max Darkness. Yeah. Oh, they switch out, though. Nice switch. Very nice switch. Okay. I should have maybe Max Lightning then to cover that switch specifically. I didn't know if they were predicting Dark Pulse or they, yeah, just wanted to switch to be safe. I don't also know how fast you are. It is like a slightly Trick Room-esque team. What do I want to do here? I have to respect the Air Slash, obviously. Like, I want a U-turn here. I might just attack here with the Rotom. Although he probably one-shots us, but I don't want to switch in Tyranitar. This is where not having Protect hurts a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to use U-turn Rising Voltage. Oh, he's not going for... Interesting, okay. So I get Tyranitar in for free. He has Wood Hammer, that's why. Okay. He's going to take a lot of recoil from that, though. Air Slash comes out. Rillaboom's faster than us, which could be problematic here. This is a speedy Rillaboom, so he might just one-shot us. I mean, I could fake out Rock Slide here, though, right? That seems pretty safe. So I think my opponent's play is actually to maybe switch the Rillaboom out. Yeah. Could have read into that. Air Slash into my Rillaboom, okay. Rock Slide comes out. Does a favorable amount of damage. I mean, now I think we can pick up a double KO with Lash Out onto Gothitelle and Grassy Glide onto Togekiss. He's gonna go for Fake Out. That's not surprising. We get the KO into Togekiss, okay. One more turn of Grassy Terrain left, so I still have priority with... U-turn will KO this thing. So I'm, okay, like here, obviously, I might just attack with both. I mean, does have Expanding Force on Gothita. We've seen Expanding Force, Fake Out, and Trick Room. So like my opponent's priority should be to KO the Tyranitar here. I don't think Expanding Force does that much. Like the safe play here I'm leaning towards is Protect and just go for like U-turn onto the Rillaboom, but if he predicts that and targets my Rillaboom slot, then he can one-shot Tyranitar the next turn. If he has Superpower, which I don't know if he has or not. So I could either Protect U-turn here or just double attack this turn. I could also double up into like Gothita, but I don't know if knockoff KOs. I don't think it would. So this is intense. I'm leaning towards protecting Tyranitar, but it's just such an obvious protect. Oh, what to do? The other question is whether Rillaboom like KOs us with Woodhammer, but with Grassy Terrain up, I would think so. Although I guess we would get priority damage with Grassy Glide. So I could like protect Grassy Glide here. But I don't know if that's enough to KO even with Recoil. And then this is the last turn of Terrain, so then my next Grassy Glide won't be priority. So I'm going to protect U-turn here. He goes for Helping Hand though. Who's it targeting? Okay, nice. We got it. It did end up having Grassy Glide, so I'm really surprised the Woodhammer came out earlier, but I think what my opponent was expecting was maybe for us to survive the Grassy Glide, which would make sense. So that was close. They could have obviously gone for Helping Hand, Grassy Glide into a Rillaboom instead, so that was... Yeah, these games are definitely, you know, the margins are pretty thin. But yeah, ultimately, I think we had a pretty good lead, and what we were able to accomplish in that game was just put on pressure with Rotom right immediately from the start, which was good. This game actually might feel like a Volcarona game. I mean, I have to worry about Rockfall, but I have the Lumberry for the Venu, which is kind of nice. Urshifu's interesting here. I think the Venusaur is what scares me the most here. And as we saw yesterday, our Togekiss Speed Ties with Max Speed Venu. So, losing Speed Ties can be very scary. However, I don't know, we could go like Hitmontop Togekiss in this matchup. Because like Hitmontop does well against this, it gets Intimidate against everything. If we get a single Airstream off, we're guaranteed to outspeed the Venusaur, so that doesn't seem too bad. The Cobalion matchup actually looks quite scary here though, really, to tell the truth. With Urshifu, Togekiss, and Marowak. Tyranitar does well against Togekiss, Venusaur, most of these things. I don't know, this team has a lot of like scary typing, I think, which is what I'm most worried about. Yeah, I am pretty Venusaur weak though if I lose Togekiss, so I might still want Volcarona in the back. I don't think we bring Rillaboom into this matchup. I'm going to bring Volcarona. And then it's between Tyranitar and Rotom here. Tyranitar is obviously terrible against the Cobalion, so I think for that reason I'm going to bring Rotom. This team does look a little Cobalion weak, so we'll see how we can get around it. They lead Togekiss Cobalion, which isn't great for us. But maybe it's not terrible either. Like, I can pretty freely max Airstream, switch Hitmontop out into Rotom. Yeah, let's go for that, I think. The logic behind this is I already get an Intimidate off against the Cobalion. Even if you Steel Spike, that's really not that bad. And these two Pokemon are relatively passive against Rotom, so if Airstream crits Togekiss, for example, what I can do this subsequent turn is like Nasty Plot Airstream. Okay, so Cobalion maxes, that's not super surprising. Max Lightning? Interesting, I just set up the terrain. Okay. So you get an Airstream off too, which is huge. Ah, he has Yawn. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, the Yawn makes this really interesting because I actually might want to switch out then into Hitmontop. Alternatively though, I could get another speed boost here. Like, I could pretty easily Airstream and Rising Voltage. Airstream, Rising Voltage. I think it's worth it because Togekiss might Yawn our Rotom otherwise. Yeah, so I'm actually going to double up here onto the Togekiss, I think. Ah, he has Protect. I was really contemplating doubling up on Cobalion. I also was thinking maybe switch Togekiss out into Hitmontop and Nasty Plot, which would have been so sick. Okay, he's going to Lightning into Rotom, which doesn't really do that much. We fall asleep now, which obviously isn't great. I think I'm actually going to... No, switching out into Hitmontop is better here, I think. And maybe Nasty Plotting now. But that's risky if they Yawn. I think I'm going to go for it, though. Like, there are a bunch of good switch-ins into this Rising Voltage. But I should have Nasty Plotted last turn instead. If I went into Hitmontop and Nasty Plotted, I think we actually would have just won the game off that, to be honest, because my opponent doesn't have much for a fast Rotom with +2. Okay, yeah, Togekiss switches out. Okay, perfect. That's what we want to see. Get the Nasty Plot off. That's good. He's going to offer Airstream into us, but we take that pretty well. And we are still at +2 speed. Berry activates. And now that's over, so that's good. Which means I can pretty easily fake out into Cobalion. And I don't want to risk missing Hydro Pump, so I'm leading towards Dark Pulsing here into the Marowak. But Hydro does cover for the Togekiss switch in. And I don't know if Dark Pulse will KO here, so I'll go fake out Hydro. It's a really obvious play, but I think it's fine to play safe on this turn. Because, like, Cobalions are often Assault Vested, right? And we should still be faster, because we have +2 speed. So, hopefully, okay, Marowak detects, but that's fine. I could have doubled up there, but yeah. Oh, he's still faster. Wow, okay, never mind. So he's max speed, yeah. Which means he can close combat us, but we'll survive that. So I'm actually just going to opt for close combat into Cobalion and Hydro Pump into the Marowak. Marowak probably switches out here, I would think, but we should survive a close combat, do a ton of damage in return after the defense drop, and get a big Hydro Pump off here as well. Had I faked out Hydro into Cobalion, we'd be in a really good spot, because then like I would just pick up a double KO this next turn most likely, but I think it's still okay. The only problem is that my Togekiss is asleep, so I should have like you know, gone for the switch out like I was mentioning the subsequent turn. I'm glad that the quality of the games are getting more intense though. That's fun. Oh, it's special with Air Slash. Wow. Okay, I didn't expect that. Close combat does a ton of damage though. And we have priority Bullet Punch, so we could just Bullet Punch the Venusaur, but I don't know if that's a KO. We outspeed the Venusaur though. He's going for flinches at this point, right? So like, I want to switch out into Togekiss and just like Rising Voltage the Venusaur. I don't know if Bullet Punch KOs. I guess it's actually probably, that's a calc I'm curious about. I would think it does, to be honest, but I'm not confident on that. So let's see, Hitmontop into Venusaur with Bullet Punch does, looks like it does enough. Although I don't think we have much attack investment, or any actually. How much do we have? 116 attack. Wait, that's, yeah, okay, so it has no investment basically. So this is saying Bullet Punch does 10 to 12%, and this is 12 to 14, so I don't think we actually KO. So I think what we do here is switch this out into Togekiss, and attack the Venusaur with a Dark Pulse. Because the Dark Pulse covers all the options they could switch into. And the Air Slash to Hitmontop, okay, perfect. Nice, perfect. So I think on paper, Rotom should win against my opponent's team at this point. That Cobalion set is super interesting though with Air Slash. With Max Lightning as well, which I guess explains a lot as Marowak comes out now. I mean, what is this really doing to hit us, right? Like, I don't mind. I still have to be careful about the endgame against Marowak because Rotom is my best answer against it. So I think I'm just going to go out into Hitmontop and Hydro Pump still. Even though it's obvious to like protect here, I think it's still fine to go for. Nice. Wow, they go for the Volt Switch, but I guess they forgot about their own Lightning Rod? Huh. That is definitely a different Cobalion take than, obviously, the one we were playing with previously, so that is interesting to see. But now we should just win the game with Fake Out and Voltage. I'm guessing that's Assault Vested, right? Like, that was a big crit Hydro Pump, by the way. Although, actually maybe doesn't end up mattering. Yeah. I could have actually... I should have gone for... No, actually, yeah, that's fine. I just have to say, the turn 1 play, I got totally caught off guard by with the Max Lightning and then the Yawn. The Yawn was super good, but in the end, my opponent's Cobalion just didn't do any damage against us, right? And that was like the main thing. And this Rotom, once it was able to get a bunch of speed boosts off, put on so much pressure against my opponent's entire team, which was super good. So, yeah, fun set of games today for sure. Definitely went up against a lot of different teams. I mean, we only played 4 games today, which is less than normal, but these games are taking longer because we're going up against better opponents at this point. So, yeah, fun set of games for sure. I think that one loss, obviously, this one was super close. They outled us, made a great read into the Tyranitar, and they were able to get a second Trick Room off, and we KO'd the hat there. We probably win the game. Super close. Yeah, the Magnezone's a little faster, too, than the Rotom actually outspeeds with Electro Web. So interesting to see Electro Web and Rising Voltage being used there. But yeah, fun set of games for sure. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Feel free to try out this team yourselves, guys. Once again, it was created by 2 top Spanish players, Repre and Sekion. So thank you to them for providing this team. And yeah, we'll be back with some more Showdown action tomorrow. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon. All right, peace.